Hello everybody, my name's Emily. I'm one of the campaign managers here at Birchal. Thank you so much for attending the Shade webinar today. I'd like to begin our webinar with just an acknowledgement of country. So I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we are meeting. I pay my respects to their elders, past and present, and the Aboriginal elders of other communities who may be here today. I'm super excited today. We'll get to introduce Craig and Maya from The Shade, who've created a solution to expensive and time-consuming salon visits and also supermarket alternatives that don't quite work as well. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks very much, Emily, and thank you everyone for your time today and for joining us. We really appreciate that. I'm Craig Ford. I'm the co-CEO and co-founder of The Shade, and I'm here with...
Hi, I'm Maya. Thank you very much, Emily. Thanks, Craig. I'm also co-founder and co-CEO. I'll get started with a little bit of background, perhaps. I just will say thank you to everyone again. We appreciate your time and your interest, so thank you so much. Look forward to answering your questions later on. We'll just do a little bit of a background of how we started the business. Then we've got a short presentation, and then it's over to you guys with questions. So thank you so much. So we started, it was 2018 that we got started. Just by way of background, Craig and I have worked together for 12 years before. Previously we owned and operated a medical centre. I've got a health science background and roles in that sector for years, and Craig's got a business management background there. So I've always had a very deep interest in the health sector, and that's I'm really quite happy spending hours researching things in health, and that's my an area I've got a great interest in. So when we were finishing up there, we sold that business a few years ago, and at the time, it's sort of, I had an intersection really of a personal sort of issue where I've always had very sensitive skin, and I've always had to be very careful with my product choices in terms of just creams or makeup or any colour products that I put in my hair. And as I got busier in life with work and a couple of little kids, I really didn't have the time to get to the salons quite so much. So I started doing a little bit more home colouring here and there, which unfortunately was sometimes a frustrating and sometimes even painful experience, where I developed itches and rashes and even across my face. And it really became... there was nothing convenient about it, nothing too nice about it really. So I did quite a lot of research into the sector. Obviously, I wanted to understand on a personal level what my allergies were, and I spoke to doctors about that as well. And then I realised that some of the key products in hair colour that trigger allergies really don't need to be there. There has been a lot of research and development in the sector, but some of the conventional hair colour products aren't reflecting the new advances in ingredient technology. And so I discovered that I just simply didn't need to be putting these ingredients on my head and therefore having these reactions. Also, some of the ingredients in hair colour are what's known as exposure allergies, meaning you can have no problem with them whatsoever, but then 10 years later, after being exposed to them, you develop an allergic reaction. And that's what the doctors suggested that had happened to me as well. So I thought, well, I need to make some changes here. That led to us doing really just quite a lot of research in the sector and finding really that it was quite striking, the gap between the supermarket boxes in terms of quality and price point, and then the products and services available at a salon, which cost a lot more. Some of them have got a much better ingredient profile, some not so much, but it does take a lot of time. I didn't feel I personally had the time, nor many of my friends didn't have the time. I noticed it was something coming up more and more in conversation where people didn't have the time for that, and how that was a frustration in their life. So many more months of research, we ended up travelling to Italy, meeting with different manufacturers there, and met a fantastic team with decades of experience who understood exactly what our concerns were and our considerations and what we were looking for consumers and for me. And we worked with them, and they created this permanent colour range for us with a formula that is free from ammonia, PPD, parabens, phthalates, and quite a few other ingredients that can cause irritations or reactions. So we did quite a lot of training with them too, quite extensive training there, and we've studied a lot about the sector and the product, and we do continue to work closely with them, and they've been brilliant in supporting us and in giving us well, just so much of their knowledge and training, which has really helped us to get a great understanding of the sector.
Great, thanks, Maya. We'll just go on to the slideshow. It's only a brief one, so we'll do that now, and then of course afterwards, feel free to ask any questions you may want.
I'll just flag if everyone could pop their questions in the Q&A box, that would be fantastic.
Okay, I'll just find. Okay, over to you, Maya.
Thanks. So as I touched upon, there's a few different elements with hair colouring and what was available for consumers, being really the price, time and ingredients, and as well as the support. So in terms of costs, salons can be expensive, running into the hundreds of dollars in capital cities, and there's surveys with costs a lot more than that $300 figure there. Time, my last salon appointment was 4 hours. 3.5 hour appointments are quite common. But really the driving factor in this picture was the ingredients. So ammonia irritates the nose, the throat and the eyes. It's used in industrial cleaning products. PPD is a key exposure allergen recommended by some doctors to be avoided for various reasons, which is definitely something I want to avoid. And as I mentioned, most consumers now are looking for products with a healthy ingredient profile. And then also there's the matter of advice. Our salons definitely provide a fantastic service in educating clients. They're there colouring your hair, you can ask them questions, and that's a really, really important part of the process. Each individual has got their individual hair history, the colours they've used or haven't used, concerns or challenges, and that's just really important to take into account. So we're very aware of that. So we developed the shade and our colour range to address those points. So one issue is the price point. So our kits start at $25.95, which is just moderately priced above the supermarket brands, significantly below a salon session. The time to apply and process a colour is less than an hour, but I'll just emphasise my favourite two words there, which is at home. So you at least get to colour at a time of your convenience and in a place of your convenience. And again, the ingredient profile, certainly for me, and again for all the other people with concerns about ingredients or sensitive skin, that's a critical factor. So our colour range is free from ammonia, PPD, parabens, phthalates, titanium dioxide, SLS, and gluten, which may sound odd because I know you don't eat it, but people who do have allergens to gluten and reactions to that even have reactions to gluten as a contact point, so they can't have any contact with that at all. So that's the explanation there, which we do get asked, and we think if you don't know, well, that's great because you haven't got the problem, so good. And then another key point is we have colorists who are available 7 days a week, and they provide that personalised colour advice. So it's not a one-size-fits-all solution with colouring. As I mentioned, people have their hair colour history, different texture, different challenges, different concerns, and that's very important to factor in to make sure people can achieve their colour goals. Okay, so that does cover a little bit of the differences, but again, our price point at $25.95, that's for a colour kit, which includes quite a few extras as well, such as a barrier oil, which stops some colour staining, a colour remover wipe, which is super, super handy. And also with our initial orders, we ship out a set of professional colouring accessories, which are all reusable. We've got clients now who have been using the same set for a few years, and that's excellent. That's what it's designed to do. That includes some nice items, such as a little bench mat, which is colour-proof, so you're not going to stain your bathroom bench while you're colouring. And the tint brush, bowl, clips, a colouring cape. And as I said, they're to be reused, and they do help. I won't get into all the whys of every one of those, but there is reasons for using those items which can help people avoid problems with colouring, as well as just keeping the process neat and manageable in their own home salon. We ship from Melbourne. Our packaging is recyclable and made from recycled materials where possible, and our colour kits come in letterbox friendly packaging, which means that they fit through standard letterbox openings. And again, our ingredient profile, which I've mentioned before, but which really is a key characteristic of our product, and the support as well. So that's the difference between us and between the salons and the supermarkets.
Let me just go to the next slide. Thank you. I'll go back one. How do I go back? No. Okay. Yep. This is it. So just some highlights of the shade to date. So we've shipped over 70,000 colour kits so far. We've our average monthly revenue is around the $68,000 mark. We've received well over 1,000 5-star reviews. We've got some extremely happy customers.
Yeah, we're very proud of our reviews, and also of the next point there, which is the 73% of our revenue is from repeat purchases, and that says a lot to us. We very much value the feedback from our clients. We're very fortunate that we get, because we do an online colorist consultation and questionnaire, we actually receive really important information, very valuable data to understand what our clients' concerns and challenges are. We take that on board to plan our product range, even so much as the exact colours that we'll add to our range based on what our clients are looking for and what they need and want. And we have a very good understanding of their concerns, and we try to meet them in terms of ingredient profile and support and service. And there's just a few reviews. We obviously haven't got space for all of them, but I did enjoy picking the reviews because I love reading the reviews. So, and we do have some very happy clients. And one point I'll mention is many of them talk about the condition of their hair. So we're talking about hair colour, but really hair colour on hair that isn't healthy or is damaged, it's just never going to look its best, and it's not going to be so manageable. It's not going to perform well. It's not going to feel nice. So our product is developed not only to achieve the permanent colour results, but really to help people keep their hair in great condition, achieve great condition, and just minimise damage through the whole process as much as possible. And that comes up over and over again from our clients, and we're really happy to hear that.
So why invest in the shade? Well, first point, the hair colour industry in Australia hasn't changed for decades. There's either been expensive and time-consuming salons, as Maya certainly touched on, or supermarket boxes where they're really harsh, outdated ingredients. There really hasn't been much innovation at all in the industry, and that's where we fit in. We think we're an innovative product. Our model really hasn't, no one else in Australia is really doing what we're doing, and we just think there's a brilliant opportunity to, I don't like the word so much, but disrupt the industry.
Well, many women consider hair colour to be an essential personal care product. I know certainly during the lockdowns, I didn't buy not one new lipstick or anything like that, but I was still colouring my hair at home. It's just something I just enjoyed to do, and I just felt better when I did that. And I do like the way my hair feels after using the product too. I appreciate the condition effects that it has. So many women feel the same way, and they just enjoy colouring their hair and will continue to use the product if they find a colour that works for them and which they're happy with. So it's not a fad product, and it's not going away. And there just was, when we looked at the sector and really what was available for consumers, it just became very clear that there's just really a big gap between the supermarkets and salons. Just from our little graphic there indicates where we are. So our product is high quality, just moderately priced above the supermarkets, significantly lower price than the salons. And as mentioned, we have that support and all of that, which is really critical to getting the results. No two people are the same. people's hair, yeah, it's been through different processes, it's in different condition, the tone needs to be balanced, sometimes colour needs to be corrected. There's a lot of different factors that go into achieving the colour goals for each individual, and that's where the support comes in from the colorists.
So we're also going to be offering some shareholder rewards as part of our offer. So as you can see from our chart here, anyone who invests over $500 will receive a bottle of our sabaki or camellia oil, which is a hair and skin treatment oil from Japan, which can be used by men and women. If you invest over $2,000, then you'll receive a lifetime 10% discount. More than $5,000, a 20% discount. And then if you invest more than $10,000 in the shade, there's a lifetime 30% discount on all our shade products for life, obviously.
Okay, so we do have big plans for the future. As mentioned, we do get just fantastic information directly from our consumers. We do know what new products we need to add because they ask us for them. So because we can read their mind. We I think at last count it was over 6,500 completed questionnaires, and in addition to that is just quite long conversations often that consumers have with our colorists, and where that informs our product development and the products that we're planning, and we're ready to add a range of new products that will meet our clients' needs. So we're quite excited about that. And one point that we're very proud of, and this is referenced all in many of our reviews, and people thank us for this quite often, so it's something we're quite proud of, is that colorist support that we provide, and we want to improve that and take that to another level and let people book one-to-one video consultations with a colorist, which will just be their block of time to talk one-to-one, and the colorist can just ask them the questions that they need to really get an understanding of their hair and what they're looking to achieve, and then we can help them with that. So that's going to be a great step forward there.
And we also want to create high quality video assets. These will include tutorial videos, explainer videos, and promotional videos with a heavy emphasis on user generated content. And these videos will be used on video platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat, the usual video platforms. So we're just very excited about getting these video assets, because obviously hair is a very visual product, and we really want to highlight just the ease of using the shade and the great results you get afterwards.
And different application techniques. It's just a great way that we can support our clients, which is what we're very focused on. And unfortunately, we did try to book a couple of video production shoots, but in between the windows with lockdown, we thought, oh, we've got a window here, we can go ahead and do that, and those windows just closed on us.
Such as life.
Yeah. So that's okay, people had bigger problems, but that's definitely something that we're excited about, delivering some really quality video assets there.
And we're planning to really optimise our website. We've appointed a conversion rate optimisation or CRO specialist who will audit every single touch point of our website, finding any pain points or any roadblocks or any bad experiences that our customers might have. So we're really keen to improve the user experience of our website and to improve our conversion rate. If we can obviously increase the conversion rate on our website, that's going to increase our revenue and profitability. So also we are definitely going to increase our marketing effectiveness. We've tested a range of marketing activities over the years. We know what's effective, and we're ready to scale. And lastly, we're going to conduct a feasibility study into launching a chain of the shade hair colouring salons. This is not an immediate plan, but this is something it's been in the back of our mind, and we feel this could be a real winner by really undercutting the cost of salons and just using all shade products in these salons, but that's down the track a bit anyway. Okay, that's all from us. If you have any questions at all, please jump on the Q&A section. Is that right, Emily? And we're more than happy to answer your questions.
Fantastic. Thank you guys so much. That was super informative and really interesting to see those numbers there. So a few questions. I'll go with our first one. Are you looking to take the shade internationally, and who are your competitors in Australia and overseas?
Yes, we are. We've just started shipping to New Zealand from obviously from here. We're very interested in the Southeast Asian market, obviously being close to us, and also the population have.
I'll
Okay,
jump in with that.
may you jump in with that?
Just researching this. I love my research. There is, consumers in Southeast Asia, particularly there's a high incidence of sensitive skin, and consumers are very informed and educated on that. And almost you almost couldn't launch personal care or beauty products into some of those markets that weren't focused on or catered to sensitive skin. So we're aware that we do have quite a lot of interest. We have some clients who order sort of 6 month lots of supplies because they're based in Southeast Asia, and they just organise shipments and to get that there. So we certainly know there's interest. Every single day we field inquiries from customers from different countries who want to buy our products. So we do think that we can certainly do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely to answer your question, we're certainly looking internationally with an emphasis initially on Southeast Asia. And just in regard to your other question about competitors, apart from salons and supermarket boxes, which obviously compete against us, there's a couple of companies. One's a US-based company called Salon, which ship from Los Angeles to here. They're probably about 3 times as expensive as a shade. They do have a lot of the products, ammonia and some other irritants, which we certainly don't. And then obviously there's the time spent in transit getting the product over here. There's a company in Sydney called My Hairdresser, which also ships hair colour. They only ship the tubes of colour only, and the developer, they don't have complete colour kits as we do. And also their ingredient profile is, how can I say, it includes
conventional.
It includes a lot of the nasties we say that we certainly don't include in our product.
Fantastic. Thank you, guys. You may have answered this a little bit in your future plans, but what are your main channels to recruit customers in terms of social media or digital advertising, and what is your customer acquisition cost?
Okay, so our main channels at the moment are Facebook and Google ads with Google search. Obviously goes hand in hand with that. We spend a lot of time on email marketing. We've got a great list of clients on our email list. That's another thing we're going to get our email flows audited as well after when we raise, just to make sure we're getting full effectiveness from our email flows. We also we're going to introduce a loyalty program. We do have a referral program at the moment for our customers. So if they refer a customer, they receive $10 off their next order. We've started to do some Instagram influencers. They're the main channels that we're using at the moment. What was the last part of that question, Emily? Sorry.
The cost per acquisition.
Okay. We're achieving about $20 cost per acquisition at the moment. The good thing about because we're mainly a subscription service, so our customers can select between 2 to 8 weeks to receive their colour kits. We do have a good lifetime value. So currently our lifetime value is for our subscribers is $146. So we know that we can spend the $20, and even if it was a little bit more than $20, we certainly get our money back after 1 or 2 purchases of our colour kits.
Yeah, terrific. Another question we've got here: are you aiming to increase exposure around being anti-allergy? One of our viewers is on a couple of Facebook pages on the issue, and there don't seem to be any comments relating to the shade. The only product in Australia by the looks of it, but it seems to not be a major part of your marketing. Would that be something that you might want to consider in the future?
Yeah, look, thank you for that. That's a great point, and that's probably a great reminder. We've been, quite busy, which is no excuse, but that's a really great reminder that we need to be reaching out to some of those groups more effectively. So we'll be making note of that, and we'll jump right onto that. So thank you. But yes, we do hear daily from people who do tell us, their personal reasons of why they're looking to avoid some of the products that irritate them. We have a great relationship with our clients, and some of them are just thrilled that they can find a product that works for them. And so that's very satisfying, and it's we certainly want to make ourselves known to the people who are looking to avoid those ingredients, and we're definitely here for them and happy to help, and we'll do a better job of reaching out to them.
And also, our product is cruelty free as well, and we're actually in the middle of a accreditation with Leaping Bunny, which is an international organisation. So we hope to have our accreditation very soon, and have that Leaping Bunny logo on our website.
Fantastic, guys. Thank you. Do you expect there to be any pushback from salon hairdressers?
We recommend people go to salons daily. There certainly is many hair situations where consumers should be seeing a professional. That's definitely in the cases of people who are wanting more than 2 to 3 levels of colour change, people who are wanting complex colouring techniques such as highlights or balayage. But in terms of for people who want to maintain their regrowth, boost their colour changes within 1 to 2 levels, change the tone, those sorts of changes which are completely manageable to do at home, then we've got that covered. So, but daily we get people asking for extreme colour changes, which we really assure them is not in their best interest to try to do at home. Obviously, the more extreme the colour change, the more challenges you're going to have in terms of managing tone and just getting a really beautiful result. And that's when you should be, those sorts of changes should be managed by professionals. But certainly for the people who are looking to changes within that 2 to 3 level, add some warmth, take away warmth, try some different tones or colours, or just boost their colour, maintain their colour, that sort of thing. That's exactly where we can step in and make that as easy for the consumer as possible.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you. That was really, really informative. In terms of semi-permanent hair colour, will you be introducing that into your range?
Thank you for asking. Yes, and yes. So we get asked this every day. It's been, I wish I had every product that our clients ask us for every day. So that's actually part of why we've gone down this path of crowdfunding, because we've bootstrapped the whole way, and we've got the product market fit that we have now, but really we need to have a wider range to meet every need. The semi-permanents are fantastic to try different tones, boost the colour, smaller colour changes, temporary colour changes, or for people who want to transition away from colouring with permanent colour, and that's a perfect product for that. So we're looking to add on semi-permanents, toners, also a developer which is specifically formulated for colour resistant greys. So greys, the outer cuticle layer of grey hair becomes more tightly layered, and it's more difficult for colour to be absorbed. And if the colour doesn't penetrate within the hair, you don't get the lasting results. So we're bringing on a new developer which is just for that purpose. So, and again, that's based on what our clients' needs are. Most of our demographic is 35 plus. Although we do have very good conversion rates with 18 to 24-year-olds as well. But the majority is 35 plus. So yeah, and we hear from them every day, and it's quite really, I'll say, a privilege to hear directly from people. It just directly informs. We've got the lists of the products that we're working on, that we're developing. We talk to our manufacturers in Italy, and every time someone asks us for a different colour, we make a note of it, so it's all there on our list, and that's what we look to add as well.
We're also going to be introducing, I think, 10 new colours.
Yeah,
so we want to increase our colour range from 30, which it is at the moment, to 40 colours. And we also do, I'll let you talk about our...
Thank you.
Yep.
We blend colours, so that's an exciting thing for me and for some of our clients. So we have a lot of lookbook pics on our website, so people can look, see directly, you know, the real clients with their real colour results. They're also on our product colour pages. We do want to really represent that side. We want to show what it really looks like on different people, people with different, you know, who had a different colour to begin with, different complexions, and that way you can get a real sense of how the colours could work for you. And a great innovation that many of our clients have been enjoying is we blend colours. And that just opens up the range. Whilst we've got 30 colours now, that just means there's so much of a wider range of colours that we can offer people. And that can either just solve a problem where someone needs to balance a tone, you just need a bit of this tone but not too much. If people who are, it helps people who are looking for a colour right between two colour levels. But also if you really want that brighter copper mahogany tone, you're going to get that by blending a mahogany and a copper. And so there's some gorgeous colour results. Or if you want a more muted, softer colour, all of those possibilities are there when you blend the colours, and that's been really great too. So we just did that again, just based on what we hear from our clients, and that works really well. So and it's fun. I like it.
Beautiful. You can really tell from your voice just how enthused you are about it. I love it. This question I might be able to answer a little bit easier. So one of the questions is, how long will the investment be for? So in regards to this, you should generally consider equity crowdfunding investment offers as at least a medium-term investment, which is 3 to 5 years, or sometimes even longer. So there's generally some restrictions on selling your shares within the first 12 months. At the moment, there's currently no organised market to sell your shares, like say shares that would be listed on the ASX. So your opportunities to exit your investment could include the company being acquired, if it decides to list on an exchange like the Australian Stock Exchange, et cetera, et cetera. But one of the key potential benefits of investing at an early stage like this is that when a company does seek to list on an exchange like the ASX, it will typically be at a higher valuation to the previous funding rounds. So if you've invested in the company before it is listed, the value of your shares may be higher, and sometimes quite considerably so when the company does end up listing. So additionally, when a company seeks to list on the ASX, it will often raise additional investment as part of the listing process, which is called an initial public offering. And in most cases, the company's existing investors will have the opportunity to acquire more shares as part of this process. So in the future, we do believe that there will be secondary markets and other liquidity facilities to enable investors to sell their shares. And we understand that operators are currently considering providing similar services in Australia, but none are available as yet. But keep your eyes peeled, because I do understand that that is something that is being worked on in the future. In terms of dividends, Craig and Maya, you might be able to answer this one. Will there be opportunity for dividends to be paid out to investors?
Listen, there will be some opportunity depending how obviously profitability goes, but we're very keen to reinvest most of our profits back into the business. We just think we're just at a point where if we really grow this business quickly in the next short term, 12 months, then we're going to be in a fantastic position. So I think initially no, but certainly once we at the position where we want to be in the marketplace, more than happy to distribute dividends.
Beautiful. Thank you, guys. So this question I might be able to jump in on as well. So are you planning to share your financials as part of the investor pack? Keen to understand financial forecasting for 2022, 23 and 24. So in terms of the crowdsourced funding regime, companies are not able to share prospective financials if there isn't a lot of information to go off. So we generally don't recommend financial forecasting beyond 12 months into the future. So that's likely not something that you're going to see in the offer document that will be released at the time that the offer is launching. So, however, you will see financials that have been in the previous financial year. So that's something to look out for when we do get the offer live. So we'll send you an email, and so will the team from The Shade, so that you can see that offer document and have a read through of the financials then.
Yeah, correct. So there is going to be a lot more details in the offer document. So yeah, that covers.
Yeah, exactly. Everything we've covered in the presentation will certainly be covered in way more detail in the offer document, plus a whole range of financials, which by law we obviously need to put in that offer document.
So keep an eye out for that. That'll answer a lot of questions. We're also open to people contacting us directly as well, and so please get in touch. We're happy to answer all of your questions. We can get on a phone call as well if need be. We're happy to discuss anything you need to know.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So, can your supply from Italy keep up with a sudden increase in customers?
Yes, definitely. Our manufacturer in Italy is very, very large, and they do have many international customers and salons.
We have learned to book our freight many months in advance. That seems to be the biggest bottleneck is supply chain issues, which have impacted us with boats being cancelled and things like that. So we are adapting to that by just making sure essentially we order larger amounts and they're here, then that gives us a buffer from that, which we had a close call on when some ships were cancelled with supply chain issues with the global impacts of COVID. But yes, they are a decades-old established operation. They're very focused on R&D as well. So they do make, they supply a range of different companies and brands, including some of the top salons. But they also run a sort of part of their operation is R&D, and that's what really impressed us. They have discovered, they can swap out ingredients. There isn't any need to use ammonia. You can use other ingredients which are just as effective in terms of depositing the colour permanently. And the upside is there, and the downside is not so much there. So that they've just done some really excellent work in that area, and they just completely understood what we wanted to do straight away. So we're really pleased about that. And yes, we can access all the product that we need. We do get inquiries from, as I said, overseas every day, wholesalers occasionally, but we're not. That's not an area we're looking to explore just yet. There's just so much more that we need to do based on the needs that we hear from our clients every day. So we just really want to get that right, improve our website, optimize every touch point there, and the support with the one-to-one consultations. We'll focus on that and then look to new markets as well.
We're very careful with our inventory management, because it does take like the lead time from Italy to Australia is we were working on 3 months, but we've pushed that out to 4 months that we have to order before we have it in our warehouse. But that's fine. We can deal with that as long as we know the time. We just plan accordingly. And so to answer your question, there's no issues at all for our manufacturers supplying with an increased customer rate.
Fantastic. Thanks, guys. This is a lovely question. I've been a subscriber since your inception, and I've experienced incredible customer service, even on a public holiday. That's impressive. Often when businesses grow quickly, the first compromise is customer experience. How are you planning to overcome that challenge?
Thank you, and thank you on many levels. Thank you for trying us in the first place, and I'm so pleased you enjoy our product, that you're still a client, and thank you for the lovely feedback. Definitely appreciate that. Always absolute highlight of the day when we hear directly from our happy clients. Yes, absolutely. Well, that's why we're looking to consolidate. Essentially, we'd be looking to put on 1 or 2 more colorists. To just make sure that there's coverage at all, morning, afternoon, 7 days a week, that sort of thing. But by adding those one-to-one video consultations, that's actually really going to improve it and take it to another level, where it'll essentially be like what we're doing now, where the colorists can talk to the client, ask them a whole bunch of questions, because really some of the conversations become very detailed, and they actually are more suited to that direct conversation that the colorist maybe has with you in a salon, although we do cover it all. We've got a very detailed questionnaire that we ask, so we do get the information that we need. But yes, so we want to offer that in addition, and then that will be that also has a benefit of being quite structured, whereas at the moment the emails come in when they come in. Yes, we can predict the busiest days and the busiest times, but if, for example, 30% of people booked the one-to-one video consults, we know, well, we'd only book them when obviously we had the colorists available. We would make sure that we had colorists available at every day and at the times that the clients were available.
Yeah.
And we're looking at something such as Thursday nights or Friday nights and Saturdays as well, because we need to be available when the clients are available. It needs to be convenient for them. Mm-hmm. And that will really step that up. So we're hoping to even just do better, really, as well as maintain the service that we're providing now, which we can do. We've got a huge manual. Huge. It'll be huger when we add the new products too, because we'll have to add those and the sort of the training and the user guidance around those. But that's what we work with. We have quite a great sort of induction and onboarding process for colorists. We supervise very closely at the beginning, and we're really committed to keeping that up. So hopefully the service that you've been receiving, well, we are committed to maintaining that and doing even better.
And the same thing with just general support. We just like to be around when the customers are around. We just think that's a fairly basic thing. Well, what's the point being around when the customers don't need us? So our customer service team is happy to work on public holidays, weekends, because that's when generally our customers use our products. So if we can, answer their questions on the weekend, then more than happy to do it. And obviously, as we get busier, we just increase our number of support staff so we can certainly maintain that level of support.
Fantastic. Do you have any concerns around the competition, potentially anybody trying to take your IP or defensibility of your product?
Well, there is very high barriers to entry, to be honest, in the fundamental point of inventory and the cost there. So if somebody is starting in this sector, there is a lot to take on. They're taking on quite a lot. But we haven't got an exclusivity arrangement with our manufacturer because they do supply the product to some other people as well. But that is they're not supplying anyone else in Australia with that product. And we have been in talks about that as we progress, and that could become something that we could come to an arrangement with. But generally, there's a lot to it in terms of the execution. We, as mentioned by the previous question, we have always really prioritised and focused on the customer service. We have the third-party verified reviews, so we try and be very transparent, very easy to contact, and just to provide all that support. So we feel that is really an integral part of what we're doing as well. There's a few different parts to the operation between the inventory and the product and the website and the support, which is one-to-one. It does have that traditional service element as well as a technology platform. But we feel that we can keep going. We've got the sort of foundation, and definitely the time is now for us to build on that, improve, and really just consolidate ourselves as a leader in the sector, and just with really on the fundamentals of two principles of an exceptional product and exceptional support. And we do have the basis for that now, and we hope to build on that, and we know that we can maintain that.
So I mentioned a couple of competitors we have previously. Salon's a big company in the US and Europe. Madison Reed is huge in the US. Salon shipped from the US to here, and as I mentioned, they are vastly more expensive than we are.
$80, and we get quite a few consumers who actually have used them, and then they switch across to us. But there's the price point difference is significant. Also, they mentioned sort of 2-week shipping times and things like that.
So if any more competitors come into the market, most likely it'll be shipped from the US or shipped from Europe. Unfortunately, as everyone knows, Australia is quite small compared to the rest of the the world. So to set up facilities here probably wouldn't be feasible for a lot of these overseas companies.
So they're focused on that Northern Hemisphere market, which again gives us a really great entry point to well, obviously Australia and New Zealand, but to Southeast Asia. And as I mentioned earlier, the positioning there, you really almost couldn't consider launching a personal care product that wasn't focused or catering to the market of people with sensitive skin, because the awareness there is higher than it is here. And so we feel, and Salon does have just the ammonia-based formula, so that we feel that actually would be better place for that, and just transit times and all that kind of thing. Although as part of it, would do a feasibility, research into that, but we're considering, having a sort of base to ship from, a distribution base somewhere in Southeast Asia, but. Yeah, I hope that covers that. Yeah, please let us know if we can add to that, or if we've covered that.
That was fantastic. Is your end goal to be acquired by a larger corporation? And if so, what will be the milestone, i.e. number of subscribers, revenue, etc.?
Yeah, good question. I mean, it's something that's in the back of our mind. Being a fast-moving consumer good in the beauty industry, there are many, obviously, large conglomerates like Unilever's, Procter & Gamble, those kind of companies who are actively acquiring companies like us. So obviously, if they came knocking on our door one day, once we've reached a certain level, then obviously we'll be more than happy to have a conversation with them. In terms of a milestone, haven't really considered a milestone. I think really, once you get into annual revenues around $5-10 million level per annum, I think that's a point in which we would be a good proposition for one of these large companies. So haven't given much thought about a milestone, but I think once you're at that kind of $5-10 million level, then I think you're really ripe for the picking from one of these companies.
We feel we can move quickly from where we are now to really just move to the next chapter, and the time is absolutely right for us to do that now. And then from there is a range of different possibilities. I think would be a bit more, perhaps have a bit more clarity on that in maybe 12 months from now. But we've got a lot of work to do. We have products already developed, ready to just, if we successfully move forward with our raise, we're literally placing orders, within a week for products that are already been developed and researched and worked through with our manufacturer. So we just really hope to work on the points that we've mentioned, and we'll take it from there. But yeah, we do have quite a few things to keep us busy until then. But then from that point, if you jump forward to there is a range of options. Yeah.
And another one is an IPO. That's an option, but obviously our head is going to be totally down for the next 12 to 24 months, just really focusing on Australia and Southeast Asia after that. But yeah, so the Australian market is our focus right now, and we're just going to be focusing 100% on that. 12 months time, 12 months down the track, we'll obviously have a bit of a look and see what's going on at that time.
But there certainly is a lot of movement, as Craig said. The larger companies looking to acquire independent companies, and often they, then you can keep it the way that you have it. Yep. And all that sort of thing. So there's quite a few examples of that. So that's definitely something that we would be open to.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. All of these questions and answers have been so informative and really, really great. So I think we don't have any more questions. We might leave it there today. But if anybody has any more questions, you're welcome to contact Craig and Maya via the Birchal profile. They'll also be sending a follow-up email with the link to this recording. So if you'd like to watch it again or send it on to a friend who might be interested in the offer, please do. We will be releasing the offer document very, very soon. So keep an eye on your emails for that information. And if there's anything else you need, please don't hesitate to reach out to the Birchal team via the website as well. And thank you so much for your time and for coming along today. And thank you, Craig and Maya, for your time. It's been so informative and really, really helpful today. Really appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Emily. Thanks, everyone, for your time today. Any questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch with us.
Please do. Thanks for your interest to date. And we hope that you can join us for what we are fairly sure is going to be quite an exciting journey ahead. So join us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take care.